and then we can take questions later on. Sure. Hey, hi. Good evening. Yes, good evening. Yeah. I hope everyone is doing well. Your family and your colleagues are in good health amongst these difficult times. Uh, I would like to thank, before I begin, I would like to thank Adani team to take initiative and give us an opportunity to firstly participate in this webinar on Atmanirbhar Bharat. I would like to start with a small introduction that with our company, Borosil. See, we have been present in India and manufacturing in India since 1962. So we have been trying to make Bharat Atmanirbhar for last 58 years. As far as solar glass is concerned, we have been manufacturing here in Bharuch since 2010. So last decade, we have spent on manufacturing the solar glass in India. As we have been introduced by Mr. Mathur, that India is we are the India's first and only solar glass manufacturer. We can supply a product which is 100% import substitute product, not only glass, but all the raw material of the glass is fully available in India, so that we don't have to import anything as far as glass is concerned.
બોલ
કેમ ગયા નહીં આજે?
આજે રજા પાડી છે.
કાલ જવાના?
કાલ જવાના છે. આવવાનું છે?
કાલ ના જવાનું તો થોડું કોમ હતું મારું વેલ્ડિંગ મશીન.
ના કાલ ચાલુ.
કોમ ચાલુ છે ને?
હોવે.
કઈ ચાલુ?
કપડવાન.
કપડવાન. તે પેલો કારીગર તો છે વેલ્ડિંગ વાળો, નહીં મારતો બરાબર?
મારા છે ને? આ તો તું નવરો હોય ચાલે એમ. ના ચાલે એવું કશું નહીં લે આપણે તો. ચાલે.
ના એટલે એવો કમ્પ્લીટ કારીગર છે, કંપની કામ કરે યાર.
હોવે કમ્પ્લીટ કારીગર છે. શું કહું છું કે?
મને ખબર હે?
શું કહું છું કે?
કશું બીજું શું કાલ નહીં ગયા હતા, કાલ ના જાય તો કદાચ વેલ્ડિંગ મશીન જોઈ ચલું.
ના લે વેલ્ડિંગ મશીન નવું તારું બુક કરી દઈશ. હવે આ લોકડાઉન ખુલે પછી બુક કરી દઉં.
તો લગીને શું કરવું?
તો લાગીને શું કરવાનું? તારી ઈચ્છા. શું કરવાનું એ હું શું કરવાનું? બરોબર. તારે ફરવાનું જોઈતું હોય તો શું કરવાનું? તાર ના આવવું હોય તો ભાઈ અમારે તો કામ કરવું પડે.
ના શું લે કઈ નહીં આવી એવું નહીં.
તાર શું કરવાનું?
આ તો પેલો વિડિયો એવું કરે છે યાર એટલે.
હવે તા ભાઈ અમારે તો ધંધો કરવાનો ને લ્યા.
બરાબર પણ પેલો વિડિયો કરે છે એવું એટલે પછી શું કરવાનું એમ કહો.
હા તો પણ હવે શું કરીએ કે હવે વિલા ના લઈ જાવ તો તને એ થાય, તને ના લઈ જાવ પેલા ને એ થાય.
ના આપણ તો કશું એવું નહીં હોતું.
હા
એવો કરે એવું એટલે પછી કંટાળો આવે એમ.
ઓવે સાચી વાત છે. હવે શું કરીએ પણ ક્યાં
તમને ખબર હશે કામ કરવા બેન પછી આપણે એનું કામ ખેંચવાનું.
તો એવું જ રહેવાનું લ્યા.
હે
એવું જ રહેવાનું.
હા પછી
એનું કામ તો આપણે જ કરવું પડે લ્યા.
પછી એમ શું કહેવાનું એમ.
ઓહો શું કહે છે કે? સારું સારું. હા કશો હતો. હા એ તો આવવાના જ લ્યા. આપણી જોડે તો ના આવે એવું ના બને. હા હે
along with the pride that we take. So commercial savviness should be the most important aspect. And finally, as all the speakers who have spoken before me have emphasized on the policy framework and the support. So there can be some incentives for manufacturing in India as well as exporting. And some of the initiatives like anti-dumping duty or the subsidies which ensure a level playing field for all the suppliers of the solar PV modules manufacturing chain. So the initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat to be successful primarily because our country doesn't have to pay a high price for low cost of import. So a country has been paying this high cost in a holistic manner for the low cost imports that we have been getting. and hence it is in our best interest to make Bharat Atmanirbhar in today's time, which are tough. So I'll start with the reliability, and as I said, I would focus more on Borosil, as most of the things are common for all the market participants and the presenters who have made presentation today. So we are a glassware company traditionally since 1962. It's a family-driven business managed by Kheruka family. We are present in consumer products, the traditional laboratory glassware and industrial glassware, the pharmaceutical packaging, and where we sit is Borosil Renewables. It's a high-performance textured solar glass. As the financials depict here, we have been able to maintain a 20% CAGR throughout last 7 to 8 years. We are a $130 million USD $130 million group today, as I speak. When it comes to state of the art manufacturing facility, we have a manufacturing facility which is spread across 100 acres at Bharuch, Gujarat, which is able to manufacture a glass which is an equivalent of 2.5 gigawatt of solar module capacity. We are an ISO 900150 as well as 14001 2015 company. This is a campus which is spread across 100 acres, a lush green campus. We also have a R&D facility of 300 kilowatt on one of our roofs. We keep trying several module technology, glass technologies, and also the coatings that are present on the glass. So I would like to give a slight idea on the demand supply scenario of solar glass. But before that, let's just brush up on the annual installed capacity. The average since last 3 years has been 7 to 8 gigawatt. Last 2 financial years have been little bit steady. Around 6.5 gigawatt have been installed in the country, as against the plan of 20 gigawatt. As per our estimates, the installed manufacturing capacity in India is around 12 gigawatt. If we want to achieve this 20 gigawatt annual installed capacity, the ecosystem has to gear up pretty much better than what it is today. And of course, once the module manufacturing ecosystem gets geared up, the demand will cater down to the lower components of the solar module. So if to speak of solar glass today, the capacity is the 5 gigawatt. Considering the COVID-19 scenario in 2020, we expect the demand of solar glass to come down to around 3.5 gigawatt. As a leading solar glass manufacturer, we have recently expanded with a manufacturing capacity of 230 tons per day in August 19. And immediately after 3 months, we rebuilt our first furnace with a higher capacity of 210 tons per day. So in all, we have 450 tons per day or equivalent capacity of 2.5 gigawatt per year. We are actively considering the expansion, considering all the necessary resources are adequately available with us when it comes to land. As I said, the 100-acre campus that we have, so 3 to 4 times more land we have, which is available with us. The associated infrastructure like power, gas, water are all present at the campus. And of course, being a very strong group, the financial support is also there from the promoters. So basically, why it makes sense to make more and more glass in India, because all the necessary raw material is available in India. So hence, from the strategic sourcing perspective, we should have the glass manufactured here, ideally all the glass, since it will be very easy and to deliver the glass in a timely manner to the customers, and in a cost competitive manner when the scale, let's say, reaches 5 gigawatt as compared to 2.5 gigawatt today. Then capabilities, I would quickly like to take you through the products. Since last so many years, Borosil has been focusing on the innovation. We have seen so many innovations in the glassware or the kitchenware that we have brought in recent years, but the innovation has continued in the field of solar glass also. We have recently offered very many value-added products to the customer. Uh, I would like to start with Shakti, which is a matte finished glass, which is a high efficiency glass. We also manufacture the anti-glare solar glass. We have worked with several leading anti-reflective and anti-soiling coating providers. When it comes to glass thickness, we are present right from 4 mm as low as the 2 mm glass, and we cater to all the market customers, including thermal, solar thermal, or greenhouse, in addition to normal solar PV. The glass sizes are varying. We also have a glass which is anti-money free. I'll come to that later. This is a real novel innovation that we have created. Antimony is a toxic element which we have been able to successfully remove from the solar glass, which all the other glass manufacturers have. So this is a pioneering achievement that we have today. We are the world's first company to produce 2 mm glass in fully tempered nature. Honorable Prime Minister of India have acknowledged this and given us a regard on that. Then I'll come to a thinner glass. If you see the trend of bifacial modules or glass modules or frameless modules over the period, it is clearly seen that these modules are going to be the dominant ones. And hence, if we want to reduce the weight of the module, the solar industry is definitely going to move towards the thinner glass. The thinner glass will ultimately get used in bifacial modules, the glass modules, and the frameless modules. Uh, and we already have a fully tempered product available for this segment. This thinner glass leads to higher transmission, higher mechanical strength, and long-term durability with least degradation, that is potential induced degradation. So these specific applications are bifacial, floating solar, or very specific applications like building integrated photovoltaic. The biggest advantage of this thinner glass, and specifically 2.5 to 2.8, is that there are many customers who have already obtained product certifications, BIS certifications for 2.8 and 2.5. Why they have gone for 2.5 and 2.8? Because the solar glass is the heaviest component of solar module. If you use 2.8 mm glass as compared to 3.2 mm glass, straightforward you get a reduction of 15% of weight, and 20% weight if we choose 2.5 mm. So 10 to 15% of the module weight immediately reduces, which reduces the burden of requirement of mounting structure, and the product cost also gets optimized. Needless to say that it has a very good mechanical strength it's 175 megapascal. The standard here is 90 megapascal. So we are twice stronger as compared to the standards that are given by EN 12150. As I was speaking, the other products that we have developed, let's say Shakti, a high efficiency solar glass in matte finish. So glass is plain on the both the surfaces as compared to the prismatic matte finish. This glass, when we have developed, we could get a higher model output up to 0.5% at certain customers. Of course, higher model output leads to a higher IRR. If you use the right anti-reflective coating, the transmission value exceeds 94%. And the best part is there are no certifications necessary in the bill of material, because we have maintained all the necessary parameters for this matte, and there is a good pull that we have received for this particular glass. We have also developed an anti-glare solar glass for the PV projects near airport. So just to explain this, reflection or glare from the PV modules today are causing the disturbances and interference for pilots, and hence the anti-glare glass has been hence the anti-glare glass has been recommended and enforced in the most of the Western geographies. So we also have an anti-glare glass introduced in our portfolio last year in December 19. SPF, which is considered as a gold standard in the solar testing arena, they have given us a certificate that with 19,000 lumens per meter square, our solar glass, anti-glare glass, is suitable for airport installation. So these actual pictures can depict very clearly that there is no glare which is otherwise caused due to normal anti-reflective coated glass. So this is a real good addition that we have. But the best one that we consider today is the anti-money free solar glass. As I was saying, the anti-money is extremely toxic element. If I go by the numbers, it is deadlier than arsenic. We have developed a process which removes antimony from the solar glass completely. The worst part of antimony in solar glass, it leaches out very easily from the solar glass when the glass gets dumped actually in the ground, or it gets broken and put and disposed of. It leaches as easily as sugar from a candy stick. So
Swapnil, can you please uh, fast track
yeah,
this
sure.
thing and let's go to the subject?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So the long-term durability, lowest PID, as I said, is a unique value that we bring to the table. The higher transmission, the blue line that Borosil has got, and this table, if you see, we have considerably good uh, transmission as compared to the other suppliers, especially the Chinese ones. The enhanced mechanical strength and the tempered. Our glass is fully tempered, whereas the imported glass is semi-tempered or half tempered. The quality, if you see the components, it is one of the best equipment manufacturers that we have sourced our components from, which helps us produce the glass at the highest quality. We tried to reduce the cost with low fuel consumption or the low carbon footprint. All these measures helped us to reduce the cost. We are the P1 supplier we have received the certificate with P1 class for all the glass that we have from that we supply to you. And the necessary certifications are in place. Our footprint, most of our Indian module manufacturers are our customers. They have approved our glass and obtained BIS certifications with Borosil glass. And we have a significant presence across the globe. And we have maintained a high customer satisfaction consistently. So now, coming back to the original point of policy framework and support, this table we might have seen very frequently, and Mr. Govind also stressed upon the fact that there are quite a lot of subsidies that the Chinese manufacturers or other East Asian economies get right from the capital cost or finance cost or operational cost or even logistic. When it comes to solar glass, the manufacturer of tempered solar glass in China get a direct subsidy benefit of up to 18% for the exports that they make. Hence, it is very necessary in order to make a level playing field. The government of India has anti-dumping duty on the imports to India from China. What other policy supports are necessary to ensure the level playing field are availability of land and other infrastructure and speedier permissions? And how do we actually end up reducing the cost of utilities? See, today the natural gas is not covered as a input credit. So there is a 6% VAT that we pay, but we don't get an offset of 6%. Very recently, government of India has started working on this aspect. And today, if we want to procure power, let's say renewable power, I would say, it is restricted only to the 50% of the contract demand. Why not make it 100%? So that 100% of contract demand can be sourced from the renewable source of power by the industry altogether. Then the aspect of cross subsidy that industry keeps paying for the consumers, retail consumers and the agriculture ones. Why not pay them a direct subsidy in case of cross subsidy, so that the industry gets charged based on the cost to serve to them. As almost everyone has said that domestic content requirement today covers only modules and cells. Why not make it applicable to other important or rather all the components of solar PV, either fully or partially? Only then we make this initiative truly made in India for the solar PV modules. Then there needs to be we need to bring uniformity in duty structure applicable to SEZ and DTA, so that SEZs buy from local manufacturers. If there are any incentives that are necessarily provided to SEZ, they need to be provided. The additional incentives should be provided for exports, and anti-dumping duty, as I had explained, to counter the market distorting subsidies that other countries are giving to their exporters. So last and the most important one is the collaboration. there needs to be an increased collaboration between academia and industry. The collaboration between the companies, rather the module manufacturers as well as uh, the suppliers to provide the technological solutions to the key issues that are being faced by the industry. Let's say impact of soiling. Today, soiling is one of the biggest uh, issues that are hampering the IRRs of the solar developers. Then performance degradation of solar modules. This is another issue that is impacting the IRRs. Then how do we use the technology and the data? That there is a huge data that today getting getting created out of the modules that are generating electricity on the field. How do we make them to use as a better O&M tool? And also we use this to make some intervention right at the stage of manufacturing where the quality will be improved substantially with the use of technology and data. Then there and uh, as we have been discussing that there have been the countries from whom we can learn. Let's say there have been the programs like Front Runner program in China or the development of HJT and IBC in Europe. These programs have accelerated the development of new technologies with the higher efficiencies. So we also with the government of India can also have a mechanism or a program which will help us accelerating our movement of Atmanirbhar Bharat on these high efficiency products. Ultimately, the aim of the government of India is to have the affordable renewable power in the country. So these programs, such programs, will definitely help meet this objective very quickly and fast. So it is really great to know that Adani has been able to come up with a module which is upwards of 450 and up to 500 watt per module. So these efforts will only be enhanced based on such initiatives that they run. And of course, the skill development, especially in the light of COVID, where there is a substantial movement of the skilled labor have and also unskilled labor have taken shift. Uh, the skill development is a very key aspect that needs to be looked upon. So this is all I have from Borosil Renewables side. I again thank Adani Solar team to give us the opportunity and everyone here who has joined. I hope the ultimate aim of Atmanirbhar Bharat will be ultimately achieved with all the concerted effort. I request all of you to take care and stay safe. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Swapnil. Very good, and insightful presentation. So let's start with the question and answer session. So let's start with the question from Mr. Suresh Bola for Mr. Manjunath. He's asking, will split junction box help in reducing losses in polycrystalline modules?
Yes,